Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Simba gedola, lio lio besimcha. Simba gedola, lio lio besimcha. Simba gedola, lio lio besimcha. Simba gedola, lio besimcha. Simba gedola, lio 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 besimcha. Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Simba gedola, lio besimcha. Simba gedola, lio lio besimcha. Simba gedola, lio lio besimcha. Simba gedola, lio besimcha. Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Be the reason so Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smile. Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Simba, gedola, leo, leo, besimcha. Simba, gedola, leo, leo, besimcha. Simba, gedola, leo, leo, besimcha. Simba, gedola, leo, besimcha. Simba, gedola, leo, 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 besimcha. Be the reason someone
Breakfast with Elli.
Mode ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shechezarta bi nishmati bechemla rabba emunatecha.
Can an Orthodox Jewish woman be a DJ? Is that
Absolutely.
How does that work?
I do the bat mitzvah.
I do the bar mitzvah.
Okay, so you're the bar and you're the bot.
That's right.
Avi. All right. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Elli. It is, guess what? It is Wednesday, the 6th day of December, the 23rd day of Kislev. The Torah portion is Vayeshev. HaYom Yom Revi'i L'Shabbos, 4th day, counting up towards Shabbos, doing the 4th Aliyah, and Chanukah is tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. I don't have an echo thingamabobber. That would be cool, right? A voice changer that would echo. Yeah? No? Good morning. How are you all? I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much. I am alone today, and I might have a delivery coming in a little while. So please bear with me. If I have to leave, I'll put on a video, and we'll go from there. All right? All right. Let us get started with only one day till Chanukah. And we started saying B'sein Talumatar Livracha last night. So here it is. All right. Just a reminder. It'll be there. All right. B'sein Talumatar Livracha. All right. Boys, take your two front sitzes. Let's make a bracha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tzitzit.
All right. Fantastic. Everyone together, Al Divrei Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al divrei Torah.
Hareini Mekabel.
Hareini mekabel alay mitzvat aseh shel ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. I take upon myself every single day to love my fellow friend in a very special way.
Torah Tziva.
Torah tziva lanu Moshe morasha keilat Yaakov. Torah tziva lanu Moshe morasha keilat Yaakov.
give some tzedakah.
I put it in the pushki, that's a doctor box. I put it in the pushki, that's a doctor box. I put it in the pushki for someone else to keep. Yeah, I put it in the pushki, that's a doctor box. I put it in the pushki, that's a doctor box. I put it in the pushki for someone else in need.
Tzedakah has now been time to say the Shema. Are you guys ready? Here we go.
Shema
All right, that takes breakfast. Okay, are you ready? I've got my coffee and my yogurt ready here to go. Baruch Ato Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nihya bidvaroi. Oh yeah.
Coffee, blessed coffee. God bless you for being a friend. When the whole world turns on me, it's only you on which I can depend. I want to taste you in the morning and a few times throughout the day. Yes, a cup or two in the evening too. For me, it's the only way. Yeah.
All right. Today in Jewish history. All right, let me get to that page over here. So much going on today. All right, for Wednesday, the 23rd day of Kislev, in the year 1348, as the Black Death Plague decimated Europe, Christians accused the Jews of causing the plague by poisoning the wells in an effort to wipe out the Gentile population. Sounds familiar? On the 23rd day of Kislev, Rudolph of Oran, the bailiff of Lausanne, sent a letter to the mayor of Strasbourg, informing him that certain Jews of Lausanne had confessed under torture that together with their co-religionists had poisoned the wells of the Rhine Valley. This resulted in the mass persecution and killing of tens of thousands of Jews throughout Europe. Jews were coerced into confessing, which brought a wave of expulsions and pogroms throughout Europe from Poland to Spain. Very sad. Frederick the Great took Prague in the wars of succession, and the populace ransacked the ghetto in 1744. The desecration of a new shul in Cologne, Germany, sparked a wave of anti-Jewish incidents throughout Europe, Americas, and Australia in the year 1959. And in twin attacks in Kenya, 3 suicide bombers killed 14 people at an Israeli-owned hotel, while at the last minute, 2 missiles were fired but missed an Israeli airline taking off from Mombasa Airport in the year 2002. Yep. Chol dor v'dor, omdim aleinu l'chaloseinu. In every generation, they rise up to kill us. Ella HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but Hashem, in His great and glorious mercy, Matzilenu miyadam, will save us from their hands. All right. Yeah. It's rough. boys and girls and others. It is really rough out there. You need to be careful. You need to be careful. The anti-Semites are out in full. All right, what's going on with this confrontation in Israel? Let's hear from an Israeli Arab.
53 days of war, and we understand that it's only the beginning. Not because I know when the war is going to end, but because it's the beginning of the new reality that we're facing. And the new reality is an astonishing fact. Truth doesn't matter. Facts don't matter. The only thing that matters is what each and every individual with 10,000 followers think is the truth. We were foolish to believe that after World War II, the world will never forget. At least back then, people could use the excuse that they didn't know. And now, what you're really saying is not that you don't know. What you're really saying is that you just don't want to see, that you're not interested to see the brutal images that the terrorists took by themselves, that the terrorists filmed themselves, killing, murdering, torturing innocent civilians. You see and watch the images, and yet you choose to say that it's a lie. You need a bigger proof to actually believe that women were raped and human beings were beheaded by Hamas terrorists. And on top of that, if you finally come to the conclusion that these atrocities actually happened, you justify it. You justify it by saying that they are a resistance movement that is trying to free their people and give them self-determination. Giving their people self-determination by murdering, slaughtering, raping, and kidnapping innocent children, women, and men from their homes. Did you ask yourselves what these self-determination fighters did with all the millions of dollars that they got throughout the years? Did you ask yourselves what benefits did their own people get from all that money? Welfare? Health? Education? Did you ask yourselves why the majority of their people are suffering from poverty? Did you ask yourselves where is the leadership of these self-determination fighters? Why they are staying in luxurious hotels, enjoying life of satiety and comfort while their own people are suffering? I'll tell you why. And I'll quote member of Hamas political bureau, Musa Abu Marzouk. The tunnels built in the Gaza Strip were meant to protect Hamas and not the residents of the Strip. It is the responsibility of the UN to protect them, basically admitting that these self-determination fighters are only protecting themselves and not their own people. Shame on us. Shame on us that we raised a generation that is not putting a question mark and seeking for the truth. Shame on us that we raised a generation that is more interested in clickbait than in the truth. Shame on us that we raised a generation that is not faithful to facts and choosing to be humanitarian only in certain circumstances. Shame on the world that is waiting once again that history will say, you knew, and you chose silence. Shame on women. Shame on international rights women organizations. Shame on feminists that stand silent in front of bodies of raped women and with this chilling silence, basically saying, maybe you were raped, but this is part of a legitimate resistance. Shame on the international community that is choosing willingly to prove the phrase that history will always repeat itself. This is pure hate. This is pure racism. This is pure anti-Semitism. But here's one fact that has been proven throughout history. When you choose terror, terror will choose you back. When you stand next to terror, it will seek you and hunt you down. When you stand on the wrong side of history, it will always, always come back and remind you how wrong you are. But remember one thing. At the end of the road, after a long, painful, hard fight, the truth will always, always win.
Yeah, that's a tough one, right? That's a tough one. HaYom Yom for today, the 23rd day of
היום הזה הוא זמן שמחתנו, שמע את התפילה שבליבנו, ותמחול את כל עוונותינו ביום הזה.
Go ahead. Enjoy HaYom Yom. Let's go, guys.
How many days do you need to prepare for Shabbat? Is one day enough? Do you need 2? Are 3 days necessary to prepare for Shabbat? Well, here's an excerpt from a talk by the 4th Rebbe of Chabad, Rabbi Shmuel. He says that the 3 days before Shabbat are a preparation for Shabbat. Why do you need 3 days? Well, the most important work of Kabbalistic teachings, the Zohar, points out that Shabbat brings blessing, is a source of blessing and inspiration in our homes, not just for the 24-hour period of Shabbat, of Saturday, but says the Zohar, from this day of Shabbat, all days are blessed. That means to say that Shabbat is responsible for bringing light and blessings into our home for the entire week. It follows that Shabbat is the source of blessing for the 3 days prior to that holy day, as well as the 3 days following. Hence, it is appropriate that our preparations for Shabbat begin on Wednesday. Now, there's even a little neat reminder built in to our prayers to keep us on pace with our Shabbat preparations. You see, the opening words of Kabbalat Shabbat, L'chu Neranena, are also recited on Wednesday mornings in the Song of the Day. And this serves as the announcement that the time to prepare for Shabbat has begun.
All right. We're going to do an now this. And now, a word from our sponsors. PestProRidall.com.
PestProRidall.com. Trusted by the best to keep away the pests. We are offering COVID-19 disinfection services. Mention this ad and get 1 month free service. Visit us at PestProRidall.com.
Tarzane Group. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Go to tarzanegroup.com or call Tomas at 305-440-0565. That's 305-440-0565. And order today. Visit Tomas and Yair at tarzanegroup.com. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Beautiful in your home. Go to the website and read Tomas's orchid blog. And by Dina D Design. DinaDDesign at gmail.com. Fine artwork, custom made to your specifications, logos, wall hangings, Judaica, and you can even have something for your child's room. Dina D Designs. Go to her Facebook or Instagram or call or text. Thank you very much to our sponsors. If you'd like to become a sponsor, please go right up here to where it says patreon.com/theactorsrabbi, and you can contribute even only $1 a month if you'd like, but that'll help us bring this broadcast to you on a daily basis and cover our expenses. Be sure to thank your sponsors when shopping and mention Breakfast with Elli when you're shopping there. There might be discounts. Thanks for watching.
Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe.
All right, patreon.com/theactorsrabbi or breakfastwithelli.live/tipjar if you'd like to contribute today. breakfastwithelli.live/new computer if you'd like to help us get that new computer that we are so desperately in need of, because this one is just, it's had it. It's tired. It's old. All right. We are talking about the Parsha. In asking Hashem for the tranquility necessary to better fulfill his divine mission, Yaakov was simply asking for what he had earned by having passed his tests with Lavan, Esav, and Shem. As we said, Hashem granted him this tranquility for a time. But afterwards, Hashem wanted to grant Yaakov even more profound tranquility, enabling him to fulfill his divine mission in an even more profound way. This tranquility would transcend that which he had earned by virtue of his own efforts and would be a foretaste of the Messianic era. In order to earn this level of peace and contentment, Yaakov had to pass a test the likes of which he had never before faced. The common denominator of the prior tests was that each was a struggle with some form of evil. Such tests indeed may be difficult, but at least they give us the satisfaction of knowing that we're accomplishing something tangible by passing them. In contrast, the test of seemingly meaningless suffering offers no such satisfaction. It was precisely this sort of test that Hashem now subjected Yaakov to, in the form of an ordeal of losing Yosef and enduring prolonged, debilitating doubt over the fate of his life's work. By enduring this suffering, Yaakov was refined to the point that he later became a fitting recipient of Hashem's gift of infinitely profound peace and contentment that we will see in Parshas Vayechi. So the first lesson that we take from this Parsha is, be aware the hand of divine providence is always orchestrating events, albeit sometimes behind the scenes. No matter how hopeless a situation may seem, The solution may just be around the corner, and the mechanism of redemption might well already have been set in motion. Secondly, we see how important it is to look beyond the vicissitudes of the present and yearn for the Geula, the redemption. Just as we find Yaakov doing at the beginning of this parsha. It's instructive to note that Hashem didn't seek to take Yaakov on the path that would lead to true messianic tranquility until he specifically requested it. Furthermore, it was his longing for the redemption that set in motion the entire process that would eventually lead to precisely that redemption. Astute observers may respectfully submit at this point that they would rather forego the reward of true peace and contentment if the price to be paid is prolonged, senseless suffering like Yaakov's. But inasmuch as we have already suffered so much throughout history, particularly in recent years and continuing right now, it's clear that we have already undergone sufficient refinement to merit the Geula HaMishlema, the final redemption, without having to be subjected to any further suffering. All that remains for us is to entreat Hashem sincerely and assertively, and Hashem will surely respond. From a Sikha of the Rebbe, from several Sikhas compiled and put together. In the fourth Aliyah, the episode of Yosef is interrupted by the episode of Yehuda and Tamar. Yehuda married the daughter of a local businessman and had 3 sons. His first son, married a woman named Tamar, but died soon after. Yehuda had his second son, Onan, marry Tamar and fulfill the mitzvah of Yibum. Yibum is when your sibling dies without children, the brother is commanded to marry the widow and produce an heir. But he too died childless. So Yehuda hesitated to give his third son to Tamar. So she returned to her father's home. Yehuda's wife died, and he embarked on a business trip. Tamar dressed herself like a prostitute and sat by the side of the road. Yehuda didn't recognize her and was intimate with her, and she conceived. A few months later, when the pregnancy became evident, Yehuda ordered her executed for harlotry. As she was being taken out to die, she produced some of Yehuda's personal effects that he had left behind when he visited her. Yehuda realized that he was the father, and Tamar was spared. Tamar then gave birth to twin sons, Zerach and Peretz. And we know who one of them became. Yeah, the father of Mashiach. That's right. All right, Chumash and Rashi with Rabbi Avtson. Aliyah 4. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. All right. Parsha points with Rabbi Epstein.
Parsha Points Vayeshev for Wednesday. Judah has the solution. He names his firstborn son Er, like the English word H-E-I-R. That'll solve this fratricide problem, Cain killing Abel, Jacob and Esau. I'll name my son Er. There'll be no contention. Except, oops, that wasn't enough. It didn't work out. We like to think that we can be so smart that we can assure no conflict. We can't. We do our due diligence, and then we deal with the issues as they come.
Excellent. HaYom Yomi for today. We got a full plate today.
Parshas Vayeshev Revi'i. And now the interlude, Yehuda and Tamar story. Yehuda goes off on his own, away from his brothers, and he marries the daughter of a merchant named Shua. They have 2 children, Er and Onan, and then a 3rd child by the name of Shelah. Yehuda makes a shidduch for his son Er with Tamar, and they marry. Er, however, was Ra in the eyes of Hashem. Notice the name Er and Ra are the same letters in reverse. Er was Ra in the eyes of Hashem, and Hashem killed him. Yehuda, however, charges Onan with a Levirate marriage to Tamar, to do Yibum with Tamar. Onan, selfish as he was, realizes that the child through the Levirate marriage is really associated with the deceased brother, with Er. And so he refused to sire a child with Tamar. And the Torah, in rather graphic terms, says that he spilled his seed rather than to be intimate with Tamar in order to prevent conceiving a child. Yehuda comforts Tamar, and he says, I have one more son for you, Shelah. However, you must wait until he is of age. And time marches on, and Yehuda's wife passes, and Shelah grows up, and Yehuda forgets all about his pledge to Tamar. Tamar, however, doesn't forget. And she hatches a plan. And she disguises herself as a zona, as a prostitute. And she approaches Yehuda, and she seduces Yehuda. He gives her a promise of payment, and to the promise of payment, he provides her personal material, his signet ring, his cloak, and his staff. Then she disappears, and he goes looking for her to pay her, to get his personal belongings back and to give her her payment due. But he's unable to find her and to retrieve her personal items. 3 months later, Tamar turns up, pregnant with his son. Yehuda, righteous indignation, declares to burn her at the stake. Tamar sends him his personal items and says, whoever owns this is the father of my child. Vayaker Yehuda, and Yehuda realized, and he says, Tzadka mimeni, she is right. Yehuda admits he is wrong, she is right, because he failed to live up to his pledge to give her son Shelah. And the Aliyah concludes with a surprise. 2 children, twins are born, Peretz and Zarach.
All right. Rabbi Chaim Marder. I just want to mention, I don't have details yet, although I can't imagine there are too many details. Norman Lear passed away. Norman Lear, yes. Yes, Norman Lear, all in the family Norman Lear. He has passed away, and we'll get more information and talk about that tomorrow, God willing.